Very thankful to the organizers, the volunteers, the Astikas who have invited me. Of course, extremely indebted to the authorities of the Hindu board and the temple for providing us such a beautiful seva of the Lord. And to all of you who have gathered on a weekday. The topic chosen for today's lecture is Sri Vishnu Sahasranamam and its Vaibhavam, Mahatmyam, its greatness. Of course, unlike most of the other Upanyasams that begin with the Upanyasam, today I had the fortune to do the Parayanam as well. Though Vishnu Sahasranamam is recited day in and day out, when I have been asked to lead the Parayanam, I wanted to be doubly sure with the script. Because our Purva Janma Karma with Vishnu Sahasranamam alone is, if you manage to go slightly astray, you will go on a hyperloop, not even a loop. So that will be like Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam, and will never end. So now that I have the responsibility to speak, I had the use of the script because some may be wondering, so I'm sure there are Astikas who speak the Tamil language. Tamil பேசக்கூடிய எத்தனை பேர் இருக்கு? How ಆಸ್ತಿಕರು ಕನ್ನಡ ಮಾತಾಡೋರು ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ? తెలుగు మాట్లాడున్నారు, మలయాళం ಎಲ್ಲ ತಿರುಗಿ ಕೈ ಇರ್ತದೆ. Okay. Do we have Bharatiya languages north of the Vindhyas? We have Marathi. Do we have Gujarati speaking Astikas, Hindi speaking Astikas? Oh wow. So it's ideal for a national anthem. That said, so we have chosen the language that we have respectfully, in a very orthodox manner, bequeathed from the Victoria, which is English. So that's going to be our link language today. Bhasha Geeti Prashasta Bhagavati Vachanat Rajavachopacharat. What do I say about Vishnu Sahasranamam? Because it has been commented upon by some of the revered acharyas in Sanatana Dharma or Hinduism. Because until it reaches the ears of some in Gopalapuram, I have to keep repeating Sanatana Dharma is Hinduism. So, we have had some of the celebrated commentators to Sri Vishnu Sahasranamam. Many. Some of the tallest personalities in Sanatana Dharma, like Adi Shankara Bhagavatpada, he has commented upon Sri Vishnu Sahasranamam, coming from the school of Advaita, Maya Vishishta Advaita. In the Guna Vishishta Advaita, which is also called Vishishta Advaita school, we have the son, the illustrious son to an illustrious father called Parashara Bhatta, who has commented upon Sri Vishnu Sahasranamam. His famed commentary is called Bhagavad Guna Darpanam. And we have a commentary from the Dvaita school, from the Tattvavada school, Madhva school of philosophy. We have an author of the Uttaradi Matham around the 16th century who has commented upon Vishnu Sahasranamam. And there is a galaxy of other composers and commentators on Sri Vishnu Sahasranamam. The work is so much smeared with philosophical thoughts, abreast with theological tenets, that it is worth mentioning that this is one of the most revered, followed and recited works in Sanatana Dharma, no doubt, in Sanskritam. So the topic is the greatness of Vishnu Sahasranamam, and our acharyas have been so benevolent on us that they have managed to bring the quintessence, the Vaibhavam of Sahasranamam in a shlokam. So I will recite this shlokam, and I am sure Astikas of Simhapuri are doubly blessed because you are very close to Indian Ocean on one side, the most spoken about South China Sea on the other side. So you are blessed with Jalamata everywhere. So benign blessings are on you. I'm sure as I speak you will be able to remember. If you're not that sure, you can make notes of it. If you believe your devices and gadgets could do a better role, you are also free to audio record the lecture, whichever. Mahabharata Saratvat Rishibhih Pariganataha Vedacharya Samaharat Bhishmotkrishtamatatvataha Parigrahati Gitadyaikatthataschanaha. The commentator says there are 6 features, 6 specialities to Sri Vishnu Sahasranamam. What are they? First one, Mahabharata Saratvat. See, the advantage is you're at my proximity. The disadvantage is I'll ask you a question first. So, Mahabharata Saratvat. Vishnu Sahasranamam is the essence of Mahabharatam. Remember that Vishnu Sahasranamam is spotted within the Mahabharatam. That is different. It is a subset of Mahabharatam. But Vishnu Sahasranamam is the essence of Mahabharatam. Mahabharata Saratvat. That is the first speciality. Rishibhihi Pariganataha. The names that have been made like a compendium of 1,000 names by Bhishma through Vyasa have been made popular by Rishis in the past. Rishibhihi Pariganataha. Second, Vedacharya Samahara. They have been compiled. Though they have been uttered by Rishis, they have been compiled by Vyasa. Vedacharya Samahara. The same Acharya who took it upon himself to compartmentalize, bucket the mantras as Rig, Yajuhu, Sama, Atharvanam, thereby gaining the name Vedavyasa, is the same person who has compiled Vishnu Sahasranamam. Vedacharya Samaharat. Third, Bhishmotkrishta Matatvataha. This has been uttered, put together and uttered by a great Bhagavatottama called Bhishmacharya. Parigrahati Shayataha. This has been accepted by all personalities worldwide. Gita Dyekartha Taschanaha. This also brings the essence of Bhagavan's Gita called Bhagavad Gita. 6 specialities, essence of Mahabharatam. Mahabharata Saratva. Second, Rishibhih Pariganataha. These names have been rendered by Rishis in the past, compiled by Vyasa. Vedacharya Samaharat have been uttered by Bhishma. Bhishmotkrishta Matatvataha. It has received testimonials from immense and great personalities. Parigrahati Shayataha. It also imbibes the essence of Bhagavad Gita. Gita Dyekartha Taschanaha. These are the 6 specialities of Vishnu Sahasranamam. Let's go one by one. In Sri Mahabharatam, don't worry about your dinner, they are giving prasadam. Generally in Chennai by 8 o'clock people will start looking at the clocks. So they said that for all the astikas we will be serving Bhagavad Prasadam, sumptuous Bhagavad Prasadam. Carefree, you can sit and listen. In Sri Mahabharatam, there is a mention of a king called Drupada Maharaja. Drupada, see, Mahabharatam is a beautiful kavyam. It is a beautiful itihasam. But there is a big problem. You cannot begin the story from the first because there is nothing called the first in Mahabharatam. You have to begin somewhere, assuming that people know things before this. See, in most of our textbooks, if you have studied in Bharatiya land, in most physics and maths books, they will say, as discussed in the previous chapters. Only if we have attended those lessons, we will know that. If we are attending, suddenly resonance, stabilization of benzene, and we do not know that carbon can make bonds in the previous chapter, we will be wondering what this shape is all about, what this hexagon is all about. So somewhere I have to begin in Mahabharatam. Assume what I am saying is right. There was a king called Drupada. This Drupada Maharaja was very close friends in his childhood days with Drona. Drona and and Drupada were the thickest of friends. There is one song also, our great Vairamuthu has written. What is that? On friendship. Mustafa. Mustafa, don't worry, Mustafa. So, they were the thickest of friends. And they said whatever property they will get, they will distribute. That is what they are telling in India now, redistribute. So, they decided whatever they get, they will distribute. Later, Dronacharya married the sister to Kripacharya called Kripi. And he had a son called Ashwathama. He was extremely attached to his son. He went and asked his son, what do you want? There is a big story. Finally, son said, I want milk. See, basic A2 milk he asked. So the father was so much deep in destitution that he couldn't even arrange A2 milk for his son. So he said, for that I should get a good desi cow. So he went and sought the help of his childhood friend Drupada, who was now the ruler of Panchala. Na daridro na vasumatova. Drupada said, how can a man who is in destitution, poverty, be friends with a rich man? This is not possible. He humiliated Drona and sent him away. Dronacharya wanted to avenge the humiliation meted to him. In the due course, he became the tutor to the sons of Pandu and Dhritarashtra. To the Dhartarashtras and Pandavas, he became the teacher. Towards the end of the tutelage, the boys came and said, they gave a feedback, you are a very good teacher. We found your services to be very good. Please give your bank details, we will transfer. That is when Dronacharya said, I don't have bank, I have got one Jan Dhan, but even then I don't want money. Had I been in that place, but he said, no. The boys said, no, you have to ask for something. That is when Dronacharya said, I want my Shishyas, my students, to go wage a war on the king of Panchala called as Drupada and win him in the battle. As usual, Duryodhana said, I will not partner with the Pandavas. No coalition. I will go alone. He went alone and he was imprisoned. Look at this now. So now, people from Hastinapura had a twofold duty. One, to defeat Drupada, and second, to release these imprisoners. The 5 men under the leadership of Yudhishthira said, we 5 are enough, we don't need the army, we will go. And they went there, and towards the end of the war, Arjuna jumped from his chariot, took the sword from his cupboard and went close to the neck of Drupada and said, I won't harm you. You are my Acharya's friend. We are going to imprison you and take you to the court, to the ashrama of Drona. Now, as they took him to Drona ashrama, Drona said, now all your property is mine. Half of it I will give you. Look at this. And Drupada, who was very humiliated, went to 2 rishis called Yaja and Upayaja. He said, I want a son who can defeat Drona in a war. Upayaja said, I will not do any such yagams. These kind of objectives are itself wrong, to defeat someone. He said, Nahi karunga. So he spoke in Hindi. See, this Hindi the poda is only in Chennai. He said, Hindi teriyu. So, main nahi karunga. So then Drupada went to Upayaja's elder brother Yaja. Yaja said, see, if you give me little 10% more, I will do. He was very practical. So Yaja did one yagam and he said, whatever this Yajaman desires, this yagam should accomplish whatever Drupada desires. Drupada desired a son who could win Drona in a battle. Immediately one man emerged, fully developed son. That is the advantage. See, we all have Purva Janma Karma, child is born, vaccination, regular visits to pediatrician, sore throat, all this will come. Then you have to admit one in the kindergarten, whether they study well or not, one, then school, then in your country you got the 6th standard, you write one examination. All this will be there, 10th standard, all this. Now he had a fully developed son, nothing yet to worry. So this only duty left for the father was to give a name to the son. He said, Drishtatva Dhyumna Ashtatva, so you are called Drishtadyumna. That's all, deal over. He wanted a son, beta bachao, beta padao, beta ho gaya. So he came out. But then the Agni of that Yagam had not got extinguished, which means there was still something left to come. The Ritvik said, there is something wrong, kuch gadbad hai. Why is this not getting extinguished? That is when Mahabharatam gives a very magical note. It says, emerged from the blazing fires of the Yagam came a beautiful woman the world has never seen. Her eyes were looking like the petals of a newly blossomed lotus. I'm not making any political statement. And her hair were curly and effervescent enough to give Mohini a ride for money. It had a tinge, a streak of blue. I'm sure we have streaks, hair streaking these days, right? It had a tinge of blue in it. Her hip was close to invisible because it was as thin as what a hip could be. It was meant to only connect the upper torso with the lower. She had a face that was akin to a full moon, Raka Chandra. Her nose was like the sesame flower. So was beautiful this particular lady who emerged. Kumari chapi panchali vedi madhyat samukhitat shubhaga dashaniyangi swastitayata lochana shyama padma palashakshi nila kunjita murdhaja tamra tunga nakhi subhru charupina payodhara. She came. Since she belonged to the province of Panchala, she was called Panchali. Being the daughter of Drupada, being adopted as the daughter of Drupada, she was called Draupadi. Since she was dark complexioned, she was called Krishna. Krishna, alias Draupadi, alias Panchali, emerged from the fires. After the Swayamvaram, she married Arjuna. But though her birth was sudden, her problems were perennial. From the day she was married, on the day this person Arjuna took her to his ashram. Kunti Devi was cooking. Arjuna could have said, I am married. In those days it was not a big deal. Now we'll make a mother married means congratulations, the mother will say. We were in a very super liberal society. So here Arjuna said, I have brought a bhogya vastu. As a matter of joke, in a jocular way, he said, I brought a bhogya vastu. As usual, the mother, a social media person, said, share. Then when she looked back, it was a perfect human being. He said, she admonished her son, you shouldn't have treated a woman, a human being, like a material, like a possession. Joke? What joke? Bad boy. Stand up on the bench. It could have stopped there, but our rule following Yudhishthira said, no, if mother says something, we have to follow. Then Draupadi said, how can we follow? I am married to your brother. That is when Yudhishthira said, there is one possibility where you marry all 5 of us. Draupadi said, ye kya hai? In set theory, you can have many to one functions. What is this life? 5 husbands? Not possible. Polyandry is not allowed. I can't take it. That is when Krishna came to that scenario and he said, see, there have been 2 precedents in the past. Jatila married 7 men and Padmalochana married 10. You are better 5. So he gave some legal rules as per 54F 92B. Finally, Draupadi got married to the 5 men. Did the problem stop there? It started there. That is when at one point in time in Sabha Parva, there is one particular occasion where they are invited to Hastinapuram. As they are invited to Hastinapuram, there is a game of gambling arranged. And you have to pawn, and whoever wins will win that particular material that is pawned. So I am just trying to summarize the Sabha Parva for you. Finally, after losing everything, Yudhishthira pawns. He pawns Draupadi. As he pawns Draupadi and loses her, like how he lost himself, his brothers, his Rajyam, Dhanam, Dhanyam, Labham, everything, he even loses Draupadi. As he loses Draupadi, Draupadi is summoned to the court by a minister called Pratikramin. Draupadi says, I am menstruating. I am in my periods. Ekavastra, Rajaswala, I am bleeding. I cannot come to the Sabha. I am tired. When Pratikramin comes and speaks about Draupadi's decision not to come, Dushyanth says, who is she to even say? She is a dasi. She has been won over. How dare she has the audacity to even ask us such questions? Dushyanth, Duryodhana commands, go drag that Draupadi to that Sabha. And as she is dragged by her hair, with blood strewn on the floor, she comes to the Sabha. When she loses hope about everyone and anyone seated in the Sabha Mandapam to even stick to a moral code of ethics, she remembers one vakyam of Vasishtha. Nyadam maya Vasishtena puragidam mahatmana mahatyapti samprapte smartavyo bhagavan harihi. Vasishtha had once said, when everyone whom you have believed will help you do not help you, smartavyo bhagavan harihi, at that nick of the moment think of Hari and you will get help. That very second she performs Sharanagati Dheyasada Savitrmandala Madhyavarti Narayana Sarasijasana Sannivishtaha Keyuravan Makarakundalavan Kiriti Hari Hiranmaya Vapu Dhrita Shankachakraha Shri Dwaraka Nilayachuta Govinda Pundarikaksha Rakshamam Sharanagatam. And she gets help. There is loads of garment that come and envelope her. She is protected. Later there is Mahabharata Yuddham, and in the Yuddham, the Pandavas win with the grace and help and guidance of Krishna. Uddhava comes and asks. Uddhava is Gishpati Putra, Brihaspati's son. He is Krishna's confidant and friend. He comes and asks Krishna, Krishna, I know that you are the avatara of Paramatma Narayana. I know that you have come for a purpose, which you have also declared in the Gita, Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam. Has your purpose been achieved? Uddhava asks Krishna, now towards the end of your avatara, I have one simple question, whether your purpose has been achieved. Can you just keep the volume a bit high? Has your purpose been achieved? At that point in time, Krishna says, Rinam pravriddham me hridayan napasarpati. Rinam pravriddham. Uddhava, no. You may think that my purpose has been achieved. No. Rinam pravriddham. While my Atma goes back to Vaikuntham in its form, I still carry the burden of not fulfilling somebody's devotion. Uddhava asks, what are you saying? Krishna tells Uddhava, when the Draupadi, my dear friend of mine, Atma Samasakhi, she said, Govinda Pundarikaksha, that word Govinda, she said, with so much of hope and trust in me. Though I could not be present in physical form, yet the recitation of Govinda Nama helped her attain or achieve what she wanted. But still, for her trust and devotion that she has said Govinda, I feel I have not paid her back. Rinam pravriddham. The one who feels, remember this, the one who feels he has not done enough for his devotees is called by the Nama Analaha, 716th Nama. 716th Nama Analaha means Aparyaptopi. Whatever he has done for his devotees, he feels it is not enough. He wants to do more. Like how in Krishna Avataram he felt he is carrying the burden of not having given back Draupadi what she wanted. So 716th Nama Krishna Avataram means he has not done enough. Not done enough is Analaha. And that Analaha is the essence of Mahabharatam. Of the 6 specialities, the first speciality is Mahabharata Saratvat. So first speciality is Mahabharata Saratvat. Example is 716th Nama. The Nama is Analaha. Analaha means the one who feels he has not done enough for his devotees. There is this next beautiful occasion. After a very long time, Maladininguvadharkaga Pirandavananno, even says Periyavachan Pillai, the famed commentator to Nalayira Divya Prabandham, roughly 900 years back. He says, when Rama was born, parents generally spend at least more than what a PhD scholar spends for choosing a name. All sites will be done, websites. So Dasharatha wanted to give his son one name. He to check what all names are commonly used, not commonly used, which is a very famous name, all of that. He called his Purohita. His family priest was a very learned scholar called Vasishta. Vasishta came and said, Dasharatha, since you have asked me, see, Vasishta is very, very careful. Only if you are asked, you should suggest. Some people, the moment they see, enna peru vekapporen, avadu vechukkuva. Indha bambal da namakku. Enna peru vekapporen, edho peru. So, Vasishta said, since you have given me the choice to suggest a name, I will say, give the name Rama. Dasharatha thought for some time. He was a bit worried. Immediately, Vasishta asked, no, this name is a very good name. No, sir, during our times itself, there is one person with this name. He was Jamadagni's son. Renuka and Jamadagni's son, Rama, since he carried a weapon which was a blessing of Shiva, he was called Parashurama. Parashu is an axe. It was an acquired name. Cutting Ravi. Blade Kavali. Parashurama. He carried Parashu later. His original name was Rama. And since he was Jamadagni's son, he was J. Rama. In the school record, that was J. Ram. So now Vasishta said, see, it is a nice name, J. Ram. I have not given N. Ram. Then you should be worried. It is only J. Ram. Why are you worried? He will be in Sanatana Dharma only. So you can give him this name. Shri Ramani Namani Ruchira. O Ramani Namam Ruchira. Bhadrachala Ramadas Kanchala Gopanna says, your name Rama is so sweet. Shri Rama Ninama Me Emi Ruchira. So tasty. In Vishnu Sahasranamam, we have this line. Ramo Viramo Virajaha. Ramaha. That is the 396th Nama. Ramaha. What does Ramaha mean? Ramayatiti Ramaha. When you look at him, you will feel good. See, it is a very tough combination to get. அவர் எப்படி இருப்பார்? பார்க்கறதுக்கு சுமாரா இருப்பார், ஆனா ரொம்ப நல்லது. பார்க்கக்கூடாது. அவர் எப்படி? பார்க்கறதுக்கு பிரமாதமா இருப்பார், வாய் மட்டும் திறப்பார். Right? We have a combination. How is Rama to look at? Ramayatiti Rama. Extremely handsome. See, when you look at Srimad Ramayanam, when you read Srimad Ramayanam, you will be amazed at the way Rama is described. Till he was a Rajakumara, he married Sita, then he lived for 12 more years. He dressed in a very royal way. He had the tiara, he had the gold over him, he had silk clothes laced with gold zari, all of it. When he had to relinquish all his riches and then leave Ayodhya to be a tapasvi in the Aranyam, Dandakaranyam, he left everything. See, two things people will have doubt. You say, sir, he relinquished all his jewelry. But do you think people of Simhapuri have not studied Ramayanam? We will clear the doubts of Valmiki. We have studied that. There are two occasions, sir, which disprove your fact that Rama relinquished his jewelry. I tell you, tell me one. Ring. Yes, sir. Anguliyakam undi kada. Kadayali irikkiradallava. Inga Tamil Nadu indha koraloda dhaan pesum. Kadayali sonnallava Raman. What happened to that ring? You said he relinquished his jewelry. It was 22 carat Mustafa gold. How did he get that ring? Because Valmiki, he knew about our vogue fix. So he says very clearly, this ring was presented to Rama by his father-in-law Janaka. It had that hallmark. It was written Mithila Cross Street, Mithila Main Road. That is why when Rama had to give away all his jewelry, Kaikeyi couldn't stop him from taking the ring. It was not under her jurisdiction. So she allowed the ring. Correct? So he took that ring. Next, I said two occasions. दूसरा कौन? हाँ? सीखो मुड़िया साल बंद कर दे पेरी विषय लगा खेल नहीं रहा. Okay. हाँ? Answer should be only one word. Okay. In Ayodhya Kandam, when Bharata comes, he takes the padukas along. That time Valmiki says, Adhiroharya padabhyam paduke hema bhushite, gold gilded padukas. ये कैसा हो सकता है sir? See, during Kashi Yatra in the marriage, the boy is given a pair of padukas by the father-in-law. It was gilded in gold. If you are well disciplined, he will give you. Then he will use it for another purpose if you are not disciplined. So Janaka gave gold gilded padukas to Rama. So that also Kaikeyi couldn't stop. So Rama was very, very simple. And throughout his exile in the forest for 14 years, he did not shave. Remember this. Because if you have to live the life of a tapasvi in the forest, you cannot go to a barber shop there. Sir, one military cut, in the cut, mushroom cut, uru cut. I want to look like Pulingo. No Pulingo. So you have to develop a beard and you have to develop a jata. There is one sargam in Ayodhya Kandam where Rama tells Lakshmana, go bring me the latex from Nyagrodha tree. Nyagrodha Kshiram it is called. If you put that over your head, your hair will not, what is that, set wet. That was the traditional set wet. Your hair will not shake. There is one kshetram near Kumbhakonam called Tirucherai. If you visit that kshetram, on the right hand side to the Garbhagraham, there is a Sannidhi for Rama. There is a beautiful murti of Rama with jata in bronze. Have a darshan of it. So Rama with jata and beard. He was dark, antelope skin, no jewelry. That ring was given away to Sita through Hanuman. The padukas were given to Bharata. No gold on him. But Shurpanaka, love at first sight. See, the hero is wearing torn jeans, goatee. Then the heroine likes okay. Panchakacham. Yeah. Rama was loved. So traditional attire had big follower base in those days. So Rama is extremely handsome. Ramayatiti Ramaha. So the Nama is 396th Nama. Very handsome to look at. How is he to move? Very, very well spoken. Sudha Madhurya Bhashana Sudha Karanana. When he spoke, people will wonder if his words were sweeter or honey is. Sudha Madhurya Bhashana Sudha. He spoke well, he looked very handsome. Combination, beauty with brains. So he was called Rama. That is why Valmiki says, Yascha Ramam na pashyetu yancha Ramo na pashyati. Whoever has not seen Rama or whoever has not been seen by Rama, they are to be ridiculed in this world, it seems. Ninditastu vase loke. Either Rama should have seen you or we should have seen Rama. What is the greatness of Ramanamam, sir? You are saying Ramanamam is so great. It is the 396th Nama in Vishnu Sahasranamam. What is so great about it? The commentator says, Mrita Sanjeevanam. It will cure a lot of ailments. Is there an example, sir? Example bataiye. Example hai. Towards the end of Kishkindha Kandam, when the Vanaras go on a sojourn to search for Sita, they reach Tirukkurungudi near Agasthyar Malai in the south of India, close to Tirunelveli, where you get halwa. So, as they were clueless which side to go, one scavenger bird called Sampati peeps. And through his body language, he communicates that his son Suparshva has seen a lady shedding copious tears while sitting under the shade of a tree in an island a few yojanas away. So he gives exact location. Few yojanas away in an island is one person. How did Ravana come as a sannyasi? Ravanananda. He took away Sita to an island. So this island and they go together. Now, Yascharamam na pashyetu, Yancharamo na pashyati. So this Sampati, through the words of Subhashwa and his words, advises Hanuman that Sita can be spotted in an island southwards. That is when Hanuman says, you are a bird, can't you fly? That is when Sampati says, no, I tried protecting my younger brother Jatayu from the scorching rays of Chennai sun. Any sun, Nagpur sun. In the due course of protecting my brother, my wings got burnt. From then on, I see no ray of hope. That is when he asks Hanuman, Hanuman, you said that my brother Jatayu is dead. Why is my brother dead? Tell me. Then Hanuman tells the greatness of Rama, speaks about Rama's stay or exile in the forest for 14 years, speaks about Rama staying in Nashik Panchavati with Sita for a few years, and then talks about Jatayu trying to protect Sita from Ravana as a service to Rama. As he speaks about the greatness of Rama, Kishkindha Kandam tells in Ramayanam, after so many years, the bird Sampati that had lost hope in getting his wings back suddenly saw a ray of hope where it started germinating. So Ramanamam is a Mrita Sanjeevanam. It can even revive people who are in the verge of ICU back. But there is another meaning to Mrita Sanjeevanam. It can even revive the dead. That is philosophically a very tough position to explain, because once the Jivatma goes from the body, it cannot come back. We would have already burnt. Right? We would have done all the karyam after crematorium, we would have come home, we would have done the 10 days samskara, 11th day, 12th day, 13th day, we would have done Shubha Swikaram, we would have given one box of bhakshanams to all those people who have come, and finally when we sit and somebody knocks at the door, we open the door, the person who is dead has come. We may end up crying more than what he cried. So, Mrita Sanjeevana, surely ailments will go away. Who approves of this? The great Tyagaraja. Why do you say the great Tyagaraja? Because if I don't use the word great, I will get an award before Tyagaraja. Tyagaraja was great. Tyagaraja says there are 3 characteristic features for a Rama Bhakta. When you listen to Ramayanam and the greatness of Rama, you should get goosebumps. What's that? Prithvi. Sita's son, Prithvi. Romanchamane ghana kanchukamu romanchamane. Romanch. When you listen to Ramayanam, you get goosebumps. Romanchamane ghana kanchukamu. See, there is one community in Chhattisgarh. Chhattisgarh is the relatively a newly born state from Madhya Pradesh. There is one tribal community for millenniums together. The members of the tribal community have the name Rama written on their throughout their body. There is one community. Full. Who is that? David Beckham must have visited there. Rama Bhaktudanu Mudra Villayu. Mudra ante tattoo. So Rama Bhaktudanu Mudra Villayu. Then Tyagaraja says, I have a weapon. People asked, are you following the second amendment? What weapon? Are you going to shoot everyone, anyone and everyone you see? Freedom of shooting. That is when Tyagaraja says, no, I have a weapon that can help take away our karma shackles. What is that weapon? Ramanama mane varakkhadgamivi. What features do you have, Tyagaraja? I get Roma Kupam, goosebumps. Romanchamane ghana kanchukamu Rama Bhaktudanu Mudra Villayu Ramanama mane varakkhadgamivi Rajillu neya Tyagaraja Nike Banturi te kolu Viyavaya Rama Banturi te kolu Viyavaya Rama. Telugu bhashalo Bantu ani shabdam. Bantu ante emi? Royal guard. See, the one who stands outside the Antahpuram Shuddhatma and protects. That royal guard ante Telugu bhashalo Bantu. Banturiti kolu Viyavaya Rama. Give me that position. And whom does Tyagaraja plead? To Dasharatha's son. Who is Dasharatha's son? Rama. Who is Rama? 396th Nama. Ramaha Viramaha. Who gave this Nama to him? Vasishtha. Who is Vasishtha? Rishi. What is the second? See, Rishi, I should have actually been in UK. So, the second greatness, you remember 27.5 minutes back, I spoke about 6 characteristics of Vishnu Sahasranamam, Mahabharata Saratvat. What is the example I gave for that? Stand up again. Now, what is that name? Very good. Analaha. So, first feature, Vishnu Sahasranamam is the essence of Mahabharatam. Example, the Nama Analaha. Illustration, Draupadi. Second, Rishibhir Pariganataha. What is the greatness of Sahasranamam? The names have been uttered by rishis in the past. Remember, Bhishma did not coin these names. Rama existed during Ramayana and even before Ramayana times. All these names have been uttered by one rishi or the other. Bhishma has only compiled. He was the first chat GPT. He has compiled all the names together and compartmentalized them. So Ramaha is the name. Now, as this Nama comes, there is another Nama here. Shreyase, Srivatsavakshaha, Srivasaha, Srinidhi, Sridibhavanaha, Sridhara, Shrikara, Shreya, Shriman, Shreya, Shriman. That is the name. See, what is that one Nama? Shreya, Shriman. Who is Shreya, Shriman? Here. The name, I am telling you the explanation for the Nama 619, 619. The name is Shreya, Shriman. What does Shreya, Shriman mean? Here the poet says, the commentator says, Shreyase sarva purusharthaya shrayaniya shrihi shreyaha shrihi sasya niyogini iti shreyaha shriman. What he says is, all the devotees go and surrender to Mahalakshmi. And Mahalakshmi is the advocate on behalf of us and she coaxes the Lord to protect us. Is there an example? See, 450 years back, in Dakshina Bharatam, very close to Bhagyanagaram, currently in the state of Telangana, was a great devotee called Kancharla Gopanna. Very well read, extremely pious student he was. He was put as the finance minister, controller, and he had to go collect a tax called jizya from the local people. That is when one local lady called Damakka said, see, there is a beautiful Divyamangala Vigraham of Rama. On his ankam is seated Sita. Close by him is standing Lakshmana. This Divyamangala Vigraham needs a beautiful temple. Can you construct? After having had a glimpse of this Divyamangala Vigraham, Gopanna was enamored. He said, I need to construct, and using the jizya tax, he constructed a nice, elegant, small temple. This news somehow reached Tana Shah. And he said, how dare he construct a temple with the tax money that is levied on people for visiting a temple. Jizya tax was meant for that, and you are constructing a temple with that. So he said, this man should be languishing in the jail of Golconda Fort. Throw him! Gancharla Gopanna, since he constructed the temple in Bhadrachalam, he was called Ramadasu, and he was given plenty of lashes every day for constructing a temple. If you break a temple, you will be made a minister in our temple. No. For constructing a temple, he had lashes. He kept on pleading. Initially, his prayers were towards Rama. Ikshvaku kula tilaka ikanaina palukave Ramachandra. Used to plead. But Rama didn't seem to give any help. So one day he got angry. He said, hey Rama, you are sporting a beautiful gold harem with emerald padakam. Correct? Rama said, yes. Did your father-in-law give you this? He asked very straight. Nimama ajanaka maharaju pampena. Did your mamanar give you this? You are giving photo shoot with this emerald padakam. Your mamanar did not give you. I gave you, and you are still holding me in this jail with lashes. Even then Rama did not reply. That is when, via that jail, some Bhagavatottama must have recited Vishnu Sahasranamam as they passed by. This Nama must have come. Shreya Shriman. Shreya Shriman means the situation where bhaktas, devotees pour their pleadings to Mahalakshmi and she speaks on our behalf. So he said, why should I even go to this man directly? I will go through a better power center. I will go through Mahalakshmi. Nanu bromani chepu nari shiromani janakuni kutura janani janakamma nanu bromani cheppave sitam madalli nanu bromani cheppave. Ni kutura, Janakuni kutura. You are the daughter of Janaka. Please speak on my behalf and wake up your sleeping husband. Did he have gasagasa paisa? Wake him up. So she listened to Gopanna and spoke on his behalf to the Lord. Since he is spoken to by Mahalakshmi, the Lord is called Shreya Shriman. So this is also a nama, Rishibhir Pariganataha. There is another nama. Vidheyatma, 627th nama. Have you heard of this Vidheyatma Ketamari? See, Sahasranamam is, if I tell one nama from the middle, you will be doubtful. I have to recite from the first. I don't have that luxury of time. Trust me, there is one nama called Vidheyatma. Tesham Vidheyam hi iha agacha iha tishta. Why is the Lord called Vidheyatma? Because he is commanded by his devotees. Look at the beauty with which they interpret. Iha agacha. See, there is one beautiful anecdote mentioned in the life history of the Alvars. There is one locality in the outskirts of Chennai called Tirumalizai. Tirumalizai. In this Tirumalizai was a great acharya called Tirumalizai Piran or Tirumalizai Alvar. He went to Kanchipuram and established an ashramam and was in dhyana. He had a very devout student, Shishya, called Kani Kannan. And one day, when the Alvar opened his eyes after dhyana, there was a maid servant with lot of vakram, with lot of hunch, deformities. He looked at her. His very benign blessings, benevolent blessings, made her a Jagat Sundari. She immediately applied for some Miss World contest. She became so beautiful. Without any foundation, nothing, she became very beautiful. So that the king of that region, a Pallava king, while he was riding his chariot, he saw this beauty. He asked, "Are you from Venezuela, Colombia? From which country are you?" She said, "Kanchipuram." "Hey, I have never seen you before, oh pretty woman. I have not seen you before." She said, "See, I used to be with that vakram." "You are that lady with that vakram, that hunch. How did you become so beautiful?" There is a great acharya amidst us. He looked at me, I became like this. So the king said, "Even I have some dermatitis problem." He went and told. He went and asked Alvar's student. What was student's name? Kanikandan. Kanikandan, ask your Alvar to look at me. Today I will come at 3. Let him open his eyes and look at me. Kanikandan said, "See, my Acharya doesn't engage in such activities. People will keep coming and he has to look at everyone. This is not very decent also a proposal." Ab mat aaye. Oh, Tamil Nadu. Varadirgal. Mat. Then this king got really offended. He said, "When he does not listen to me, Kanikanna, with so much of arrogance you talk to me, leave my city immediately." Kanikanna said, "Fine." And he went to his Acharya and said, "See, the king, the ruling monarch of our region has asked me to leave this Rajya. Sir, you have given me a wonderful opportunity to serve. I have been serving you. I shall continue to serve you, but not from this city. I am leaving." And he left. Then the Acharya, Tirumalizai Alvar, thought, see, an Acharya is called an Acharya only if he has a Sishya. And there is no Sishya, how will I be an Acharya? If there is no student, how will I be an Acharya? So he said, "Even I will leave." As he left, he looked at the Murti of Narayana who sleeps on the river called Vegavati. He looked at Bhagavan and said, "See, my student has left. And I am also leaving. But I feel so bad to orphan you and go. If you want, you can also follow me. Before you follow, roll your serpent couch, keep it like hold on, and come. That very second, the Shakti, the Prana within that Murti also left along with Tirumazhi Piran. The moment he left, the stock share went down. There was no water tankers started coming and there was no water. Lots of problems in the city. Then the Purohita of that region said, "O king, you have offended a great Bhakta. Go call him." So the Alvar and the Lord with his student were stationed in the village in the outskirts of Kanchipuram for one night. Or iravu irukkai, or irikkai. So he stayed in that village. The king went and pleaded. In those days they had some brains. So he went and pleaded. "No, we have offended you. O Alvar, please come back." So Alvar said, "See, the king is pleading. I should not make him plead anymore. Okay, Pallav, I will come back." And Pallava left. Tirumazhi Alvar had to leave. That time he saw two other people who had joined him. So he looked at Kanikannan, his student, and said, "Kanikanna, you also come with me." "Okay, Guru." And he also left. That time the Lord was still stationed there. The Lord, "See, because of you I came here. And you are leaving me and going." That is when Alvar said, "See, don't worry, O Lord, come with me. What will I do with Adishesha? Bring him and then put it back in his original position and go and sleep." Kanikannan pukkolindan kamarum poonkachi tamarekkanna nee irukka venda nee undan painahappaaye shuruttikkol, he said earlier. Now he said virittukkol. So at one point in time the devotee tells the Lord to fold his serpent couch. At another point in time he says release it. The one who is commanded by his devotees to come and leave is called Vidheyatma. Vidheyatma means the one who is commandable and commanded by his devotees. Vidheya means to command. The one who is commanded is called Vidheyatma. In the great kshetram of Pandharpur, a devotee called Pundalik said, "I'll throw one brick, Vit, stand on it and wait for some time." So Vitthal, he stood like that on a brick for some time because his devotee said wait. Tirumazhi Alvar said release, he released. The one who is commanded by his devotees is called Vidheyatma. So Tirumazhi Alvar, a great Bhakta, a great Rishi, has given the Nama Vidheyatma. Bhadrachala Ramadas has exemplified the Nama Shreya Shriman. Vasishtha, a great Maharshi, has told and spoken about the greatness of the Nama Rama. Rama, Shreya Shriman, Vidheyatma. All these namas have been suggested by the rishis. So the second speciality of Vishnu Sahasranamam is Rishibhe Pariganataha, spoken of by great rishis. First speciality, Mahabharata Saratvar. Example, Analaha. Second specialities, the names were suggested by Maharishis. First example, Vasishtha gave the name Ramaha. Bhadrachala Ramadas, Shreya Shriman. Tirumazhi Piran, Vidheya. Now, there is one instance in Ayodhya Kandam. See, I'll just give you a sequence. You have to remember and travel along with me in the same pace. Rama was married while he was roughly around 11 and a half to Sita, who was 6. This is Ramayana. Nice. At Quora.com May, this May, April and all you leave. Quora.com, I am telling you what Acharyas have said. To the best of my knowledge, Valmiki wrote Ramayana. He says that Rama was around 11 and a half. How can he get married while he was the age of 11 and a half? Isn't that wrong? It's wrong. Don't judge anybody in the past with the rules of the present. If you call such marriages illegal, then most of your great-grandfathers and grandmothers' marriages are also illegal. So after marriage, and remember, it was a very cost-effective marriage. On the same pandal, 4 of them got married. With the same one tambulam, you can give the return gift. Not different days. So Rama to Sita, Lakshmana to Urmila, Bharata to Mandavi, and Shatrughna to Shrudakirti. Same pandal. The uncle of Bharata, that is Bharata's mother's brother, Yudhajit, who was the Yuvaraja of Kekeya Desham. Kekeya is the province around western Kashmir, the Pakistan occupied Kashmir, what we call. And then there is a lower portion of the Central Asian countries, the Kyrgyzstan, Turkmenistan, and some parts of Afghanistan and the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa region of Pakistan. This region was called Kekeya. And the capital today, what we call as Jalalabad, was then called Giribraja by the banks of river Sudama. There was a great king called Ashwapati who was Kaikeyi's father. Kaikeyi's mother, we don't have her name mentioned, but we know from the references made by Sumantra that Kaikeyi's mother was Mantara square plus Shurpanaka cube. That is what we know from Ramayana. That I tell you later whenever I get the opportunity how. Because Sumantra gives two instances. So they had a son called Yudhajit, daughter called Kaikeyi. Kaikeyi was Bharata's mother. So Yudhajit was a Matula. Matula means maternal uncle, mama. So that Mama Yudhajit attended the marriage. He brought a lot of gifts with him. And then he said, Bharata, you please come along because the grandfather was very well read. Ashwapati was very well read. In Brahma Sutram, we have a special chapter called Vaishwanaradhikaranam, where Ashwapati debates, very intelligent. So he wanted to keep discussing matters of immense theological and philosophical importance with his well-read grandson, Bharata. So Bharata, along with his wife Mandavi, Shatrughna with his wife Shrutakirti, left Nepal, which is Mithila Desham, and directly went to Kekeya. Whereas Rama and Lakshmana with their respective wives went back to Ayodhya. For the next set of 12 years after their marriage, they lived in their respective cities. Bharata and Shatrughna in Kekeya, Rama and Lakshmana in Ayodhya. For 12 years they didn't see each other. That is when Dasharatha one day went and stood before the mirror. He combed his hair, he saw one grey hair after so many years. And Kalidasa says in Raghuvamsham, Tam Karnamulamagatyya Ramir Shri Nyasyatamiksi. It looked as if the grey hair was telling very softly to Dasharatha, it is high time that you relinquish your kingdom to the eldest of your sons and go to the forest as the Vanaprastha Dasharatha. The hair was saying, now you may wonder, think what? What is it? முடியெல்லாம் பேசுமா, பகுத்தறிய வேண்டாமா? இதுதான் நாங்கள் கண்டிப்பது. பிற்போக்குவாதியாக இருக்கிறீர்களே, முடியெல்லாம் பேசுமா? But they will now build a pen by Marina Beach. That is rational thinking. So here Dasharatha wanted to give away the kingdom. It was a very quick decision. He called Sumantra and said, Sumantra, I wish to make Rama the Yuvaraja. Sumantra said, "Theek hai, I will contact the event management company." No time, tomorrow. Tomorrow is Pushyam, Chaitra Pushyam. Today is Chaitra Punarvasu, Rama's birthday. Tomorrow is Pushyam. In that nakshatra, nobody will arrange. Do something. Kuch bhi karo. Then that night, தோன்றிய கூனியும் துடிக்கும் நெஞ்சினாள் ஊன்றிய வெகுளியாள் உழைக்கும் உள்ளத்தாள் காந்தியரி நயனத்தாள் கதிக்கும் சொல்லினாள் மூன்று உலகிற்கும் ஓர் இடுக்கண் மூட்டுவாள், says Kamban while describing Manthara when she came. She took Kaikeyi's brain, washed in Ariel and surf for 1.5 hours, put it back. Now Kaikeyi asked for those 2 boons. Then Dasharatha came. Dasharatha's BP went very low. He fainted. She got up. She called Rama and she said, Rama, sorry, there is a small change. थोड़ा change है plan में. अभी plan B है. पापा ने बोला है, राम तुम बन जाओ. ठीक है राम. राम से जो भी पापा बोलते हैं, पापा तेरा नाम बड़ा करेगा. बेटा तुम्हारा ऐसा काम करेगा. बेटा. Then he went and informed Sita. Sita, I am leaving for the forest. I know the world is very small. Let's keep meeting and I will miss you. See ya. And then Sita asked, where are you leaving me? In Ayodhya with your mother? And it was not mother-in-law, mothers-in-law. And all of them were suffering from good health. So, she said, I will join you. And as they left, Lakshmana also left. The three of them met. Agratah prayayau Ramaha, Sita madhye sumadhyama, prishtatastu dhanushpanihi, Lakshmanaha anujagamaha, says Valmiki. The three of them left. On the other hand, Dasharatha died. The moment Rama left, he died. That night, Bharata gets a dream in Kekeya. He gets a dream. What is a dream? That his father Dasharatha, like a madman, tonsured, completely naked, smeared in oil, like a madman, a retarded person, runs towards the end of a cliff and jumps into a sea that is filled with dung. And before he jumps, he is being pulled by the iron shackles of a lady with a demoniac face and giving a devilish guffaw. Bharata, after having dreamed something as inauspicious as this, wakes up, perspiring. The shloka goes, Vyushtam yevatutam ratrim drishtvatam swapnam apriyam putra raja adhirajasya subhrisham paryatapyata. He was perspiring. Shatrughna came running and asked, Bharata, what happened? Bharata narrates what all he saw in his dream. As he says all this to Shatrughna, Shatrughna says, don't worry Bharata, I will arrange a prayaschittam. Atonement in English. That night, Bharata invites Kalakshepadhikaris, people who recite, do kathas. And he says, stories were narrated by the Kalakshepadhikari in the presence of Bharata. Tapyamanam samajñaya vayasya priyavadinaha ayasam hi vineshyantaha Chakrire Katha. Chakrire Katha. Katha was recited as a prayaschittam to a bad dream. Idekku purindida? Arthayinda? Arthayita? Purindada? Manasilayo? Yan parayindu? Kodapamilla? Now let's get back. It is said Bharata had a bad dream. Shatrughna wanted a prayaschittam. He called a Kalakshepadhikari and he recited one story. What story? That is not told by Valmiki. What story? There should be some story, right? Cut. This is scene number 1. Scene number 2. Ashtama Skandam in Bhagavatam. 8th canto. You can go and fact check me like India today. So you fact check. 8th canto, 4th chapter. Penultimate verse. What is this context you are telling, sir? In Srimad Bhagavatam, Shuka Brahma narrates and Parikshit listens. This is Bhagavatam. That is when Parikshit asks, Hey Shuka Brahma, I have heard that an elephant was protected from the jaws of a violent crocodile. Can you tell me that? And Shuka Brahma narrates Gajendra Moksha Charitra. He says by the foothills of Malaya Parvata, by the banks of river Tamraparani in Pandya. See, remember this particular Charitram happened in Pandya. Even if you go today near Tirunelveli, there is a village called Attanallur. That is believed to be the place where Gajendra Moksham happened. Indradyumnaha Pandya Khandadirajaствадbhaktatma Chandanadrau kadachit Tvatsevayam Magnadhihi Aduloke Naivagastyam Praptamadithyakamam. So there is a flashback given to this elephant. This elephant along with other female elephants came to a pond, immersed himself into the waters. As a style statement, he took that lotus. See, generally when we hear our grandmothers say, they will say every day he used to go to a temple, he used to submit flower. All that is not there in Bhagavatam. He just plucked the flower as a style statement, rotating that glass, taking that flower. He was in Tamil Nadu too. So style was important to be a superstar. So the elephant took the lotus, held the lotus in his trunk, and all the female elephants, they took one selfie. When the elephant was about to leave the waters and come to the land, 3 limbs of it had gotten out, the 4th couldn't. That is when the elephant was shocked to see that the limb was caught in the jaws of a very violent crocodile that was trying to pull the elephant into the waters. This looks like a Masai Mara daily story. ये क्या है सर? Animal Planet का story है. इधर कोई waste का भागवत पोटी और wasting our time. You know how busy we are. Till now it is Masai Mara story. When does it become Bhagavatam? At one point in time in that pain, the elephant managed to remember his previous janma. He remembered that he was a Pandya Raja who was doing Bhakti Yoga to Bhagavan, and he recited a stuti in his mind called Gajendra Stuti. Then finally the Lord from Vaikuntham came on a Garuda, released the chakra, protected the elephant, gave mukti to that crocodile. We know this is Gajendra Moksha. Towards the end of Gajendra Moksham, Shuka Brahman says, Yetan Maharaja Taverito Maya Krishna Anubhavo Gajaraja Mokshanam Swargyam Yashasyam Kalikalmashapaham Duswapnanasham Kuruvarya Shringvatam. Whoever listens to Gajendra Moksham, the story, will never have bad dreams. Duswapna Nashanam. 8th canto of Bhagavatam tells, Shuka Brahman says that if you listen to Gajendra Moksham, there is no Duswapna. Ramayanam Ayodhya Kandam says, because of Duswapna, Bharata listened to a story. What is that story? The answer is in the 8th canto. Do you see the link? See, remember, our scriptures are not mutually exclusive. They are all connected. Connection. See, whenever we meet another person, we try to check if we have a connection. Yeah. Oh, avana ninga. Ayya beta kitta irundare. Rajagopal ayyaru onnu vitta pulli. We always check for relations. Even if the relationships don't work, we'll ask, sir, do you have diabetes? Yes, connection. That way we are connected. Let's go to Moksham together. So, Bhagavatam says Gajendra Moksham for Duswapnam. Ramayanam says a story was told as a prayashchittam for Duswapnam. How is this related to Vishnu Sahasranamam 926th Nama? Duswapna Nashanaha. Have you heard of this in the Vishnu? So the commentator says, Yemam tvam cha saraschaiva ityupakramya duswapno nashyate tesham iti duswapna nashaha Gajendra Moksha Varnanam. Vishnu Sahasranamam is a part of which itihasam? Mahabharatam. Bharata dreaming, having a bad dream is a part of which itihasam? Gajendra Moksham? Ramayanam, Bhagavatam, Mahabharatam. See the connection, how it comes. It is beautiful when we explore. When we see them in silos and say, oh, we treat Bhagavatam only as authentic, other scriptures as wrong. No. All scriptures have a connection. One is by Valmiki, the other is by Shuka, the other is by Vyasa. What great Maharishis they were. Now, why did you tell this, sir? Because the third speciality is Vedacharya Samahara. Vedacharya, whose Vyasa, has managed to bring all this and compile them together. The third speciality is by Vyasa, and the example for this is 926th Nama, Duswapna Nashanaha. Next is another great speciality. See, Mahabharatam is the most interesting work if you ever read or listen to Mahabharatam. In Sri Mahabharatam, there is a occasion where Krishna is resting in Dwaraka. Krishna's own sister was Bhadra. She was a very good Bhadra. So she was called Subhadra. Subhadra was married to her very own cousin. See, Krishna's father Vasudeva had a sister called Pritha. Pritha's other name was Kunti. Kunti's children were Yudhishthira, Bhima and Arjuna. So for Subhadra, Arjuna was the aunt's son. Attige maga. ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳುವಾಗ ಅತ್ತಿಗೆ ಮಗ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದೆಯಲ್ವೇ, ಅತ್ತ ಪಿಳ್ಳೆ, ಇವರ್ ಮಾಮ ಪಿಳ್ಳೆ, ಅತ್ತಾನ್ ಪುರಿಯದೋ ರಿಲೇಶನ್ಶಿಪ್. So she was wanting to marry. She has never seen Arjuna. She was wanting to marry Arjuna. Arjuna had left on a Tirtha Yatra. He said, I have entered the Shuddhatma of my eldest brother. I have to do Tirtha Yatra. And he said, I will go Kshetram after Kshetram. Krishna said, wherever you go, you come to Gujarat finally. So this Arjuna had a beard, jata, he went Tirtham after Tirtham and finally arrived in Gujarat coast. Meanwhile, Duryodhana had arranged Subhadra's marriage with Krishna. Balarama had arranged Subhadra's marriage with Duryodhana, but Subhadra did not want. She had blocked Duryodhana on WhatsApp, Facebook, everywhere. Locked the profile, he can't see. She wanted to marry only Arjuna, so Arjuna's jersey was only there in her bedroom. So one day when Arjuna came, Krishna said, Arjuna, don't reveal your name, you call yourself Arjunananda. Then there is one Champu, don't think I am creating the story, there is this Mahabharatam, there is a separate Champu Kavyam called Subhadra Harana Champu, how he kidnapped Subhadra. See, Sanskritam is very interesting. So Subhadra went and entertained this sannyasi. She did all the pujas to him. She laid one plantain leaf and she kept different kinds of sweets. Putarekulu. You know, have you heard? How many of you know Putarekulu? That is the gateway to heaven. You have to take rice starch and make it like a dosa. Nenu seriga recipe chaptunana ante chudandi. Rice starch, you have to apply about 4-5 big tablespoons of ghee, cover it with jaggery, roll it and give it to any person whom you want them to attain Acharya Trivedi. Idi peru Putarekulu. So she kept one sweet in that sannyasi's leaf. She was expecting Arjunananda to say a few words. Arjuna said, the sweet is also good, the girl's hand is also good. She said, how can a sannyasi kuch gadbad hai? She released that pen drive. So she immediately told, Bhaiya, ye kaun hai? Krishna said, whose jersey do you have? Arjun. Same action key. So that time she said, ye Arjun hai kya? Haan. Subhadra, ye Arjun hi hai. Do you want to marry Duryodhan? Nahi, Bhaiya. Do you want to marry Arjun? Yes, Bhaiya. Then you kidnap him. See, in Subhadra's marriage, Arjuna did not kidnap Subhadra. Read Mahabharatam well. She drove the chariot and Krishna said, Arjuna, you have to keep shouting, Bachao. Bachao, Bachao. So Krishna's cousin cum son-in-law was Arjuna. Krishna's son was married to Duryodhana's daughter. Second relationship you have to remember. Arjuna, Duryodhana's daughter and Krishna's son were married. So Krishna and Arjuna were sambandhis. So in Dwaraka, when Krishna was resting, Duryodhana came and wanted to seek Krishna's help and he sat near Krishna's head. Then Arjuna came later and sat at his feet when Krishna woke up after that power nap. You know power nap? During the Upanyasam you get. Generally, in the Upanyasam we keep seeing who all has slept, how many people have yawned. Ella mudichona solla, but ketinde irupavul. Mami. 7:15 to 7:25 தூங்கிட்டே. அதுக்கு நல்லா கவலைப்படாத. I will act as if I have never seen. So, Krishna Krishna got up and asked, Arjun, how are you? Duryodhana got angry. He said, I came first. Krishna said, you don't have common sense. You should come and sit in the front. Why will you sit behind me? You have to help me, Krishna. Okay, you're asking help in a very nice way. I will help you. On one side is my huge battalion. And on the other side is me. What do you want? By the time Duryodhana opened his mouth, Krishna said, while the property is being distributed, the youngest one should be given the option first, says Dharma Shastra. Let Arjuna ask. Arjuna said, what question is this, Krishna? Will I ever choose anything but you? I want only you. Duryodhana was extremely happy. He said, let my brother take you, I'll take your army. And he went to his uncle and said, Shakuni Mama! I got an entire army. Shakuni asked, where is Krishna? On the other side, you fool. You have left that person there and come. He will do anything. Go ask him another boon as an appendix. He should not use a weapon. Duryodhana went and asked, Mama, I don't use panna. Okay, theek hai. I will not use any weapon. Duryodhana left. Victory! Yallavathayam will go. And he left. Here, Arjuna felt very dejected. He said, Krishna, if you are not using the weapon, of what use are you on the battlefield? See, if you are not using any instruments as a surgeon, what will you do in a operation theatre? What will you do on the battlefield without weapons? Krishna said, send your regular driver on casual leave for 18 days. If I send my driver, who will ride my chariot? I will ride your chariot. I will ride. Why did Krishna take up this opportunity to ride? See, many of us are mad after driving. You should drive in Outer Ring Road, Bangalore, please. I invite you to my city. Please drive and prove your mettle there. Huh? It is called Nitya Janavasam. Slowly you go. If you keep one. Kannu jaladi yandai kanchana mare namadai. Kalyanam uruvara. Munadi inda badam tattalla. So, in Ramavataram, Rama wanted to ride a chariot. He never got the opportunity. Initial days, Dasharatha drove. Next few years, Sumantra drove. In Yuddham, Matali drove. He never had the opportunity to ride. In Krishna Avataram, he was waiting for the opportunity to ride. He seized the opportunity. The moment he said, fine, I will take up this opportunity. And he started riding the chariot. With lot of difficulty, this position has come. But the initial days were a bit tough because Krishna, what did he say? I will not use any weapon. Bhishmacharya gave a counter promise. He pledged, he vowed, I will make Krishna lift a weapon. So in the Times of Hastinapura newspaper, left hand side one reporter said, I will make Krishna lift the weapon, says Bhishma. Right hand side, I will not use any weapon, says Krishna. Let's see who wins. First day, second day, third day, the Yuddham was very, very subtle. No movement at all. And Arjuna used to throw an arrow. Bhishma used to catch. Acha. Krishna thought, say, I've left all my job and come and riding. This man is taking advantage of me. He jumped from his chariot. He said, if you are not killing this man, I will kill. He took one chakram lying on the ground, went running towards Bhishma saying, it is okay if I lose my pledge or vow not to lift the weapon. I should see this old man dead today. He runs. Gatotariyaha swanigamamapahaya mat pratignyamritamadhikartum avapluto rathastha dhritaratacharanodhyaya chadgur haririvahantumi bhamgatotariyaha. Uttariyam means the upper garment is called Uttariyam. So when Krishna left his seat, Gatottariyam, Acharya say, he left his Uttariyam on the seat. Why? See, if you lived in Bombay, any devotees from Mumbai here? I spent 5 years in Mumbai. Initial years I was an amateur, then I became an expert. How to get a place in the local train. You have to go all the way to the other destination, take and come. That time you will make friends with someone. There is no space. So that time you leave your kerchief and come. That is a typical Vyasam Vasishthanaktaram Shaktet Pautram Parasharatmajam Shukatam. First you leave kerchief. So Krishna left his Uttariyam on the seat because after Ramavataram, after so much of struggle, he has got this charioteer's position. He was worried, if I leave this place, somebody else will fill. So Gatottariyam, he left his and went running towards Bhishma. Bhishma reminiscences this later. He says, hey Arjuna, I remember that day when Krishna, leaving his Uttariyam on his charioteer's seat, with sweat drops coming on his face, came running towards me to charge on me. He was not bothered about his vow or pledge being broken. He wanted his devotee who is me to win in the battle. The one who lets his devotee win and loves to lose is called by the 752nd Nama Chalaha. That is the 752nd Nama. Chalaha means Pranata Pandavadehe Prayojanaya Satya Samadayades Chalatiti Chalaha. Pranava Pandayade, the one who lets his devotee Bhishma win and is very happy to lose. That is the quality of parents. Parents should not have a serious challenge with their children. If their children win, they should be very happy. So Chalaha. So what is the fourth speciality? Bhishmo Krishnamatatpataha. First quality, Mahabharata Saratva. Example, Analaha. Second, Rishibhim Pariganataha. Ramanama by Vashishta. Shreya Shriman by Bhadrachala Ramadas. Vidheyatma by Tirumai Shetiram. Third, Vedacharya Samahara. What is the example I gave? Gajendra Moksham. What is the Nama? Duswapna Nashanaha. Fourth speciality. Bhishmo Krishnamatattvataha. Praised by Bhishma. What is the Nama? 752nd Nama? Chalaha. Now, the most important thing is, people should accept. See, if parents themselves keep praising their children, பாடினா கேட்டுட்டே இருக்கலாம். நாங்கள் மட்டும் கேட்போம். நாங்கள் பாடினா கேட்டேன். மற்றவா ஐயோ அது வேண்டாம்ட்டா. 2-3 பேர்கிட்ட பாடி வச்சேன் வேண்டாம்ட்டா. So the greatness or significance of our achievements lies when somebody else's praise. What is the greatness of Sahasranamam? Remember this. There is a great Sanskrita novel 1200 years back, more than that, called Kadambari. It was written by, who said that? Very good, Banabhatta. Banabhatta writes this novel. In that novel, in the due course of explaining, he explains a Sutika Griham. Sutika Griham is a labor ward where women deliver their children. They will come there and deliver. In the corner of the delivery ward, labor ward, incessantly 4 people will keep on reciting Vishnu Sahasranamam. They will take turns. Because it was believed that the vibrations of Vishnu Sahasranamam help the carrying mother to push and deliver her child in a very healthy manner. So Vishnu Sahasranamam was described, he says, Avichinna Patyamana Narayana Nama Sahasram. 1200 years back, this was the practice. Of course, now we have epidural, we induce pains, we induce cramps, then we push. Before the C and the D section came, here was Vishnu Sahasranamam. Try it out, see. Sanatana Dharma never ridicules modern medicine. It's even a very well conditioned, seasoned, academically qualified, successful medical practitioner today will tell you, I have diagnosed your problem, I have given you the medicine. But trust in God, it should go. Nobody will give it in writing because there are many factors contributing to the success of a medicine. It is just not the medicine. That is where alongside the practices recite Vishnu Sahasranam. Charaka Samhita, which is a compendium in medical history, tells Vishnu Sahasramurdharam Characharapatim Vibho Stuvan Nama Sahasrena Jvaran Sarvan Vyapohati. All types of fevers will go away. Where I've told this example many times, even here I've told in 2018 when I came. Just 49 years back, when Kanchi Paramacharya, he had to camp in Chennai, suddenly he developed fever of 104. And Sishyas were very unhappy, were very sad, were very worried. They said, we'll call the practitioner. He said, no, let's try out something. Call 150 people who can recite Vishnu Sahasranamam well. They all came. He said, I will sit, all of you recite Vishnu Sahasranamam thrice. They all recited. Roughly, if you recite in a very slow fashion like we did today, it may take about 32 minutes. If you go fast, 22 minutes. Sridhar, Sridhar, Srinivasa, Sridhar, Srivibhavana, Sridhar, Sakacha, Shriman, Lokatrayashaya, Kada Upoi Tarano, Sakshas, Panacea, Anando, Rajesh, Jyotirishwara, Vidhatma, Vijayatma, Satki, Dikshina. Thrice it was recited, it came to 98. This is recorded in Paramacharya's history. He said, if Shastram says, Jvaran Sarvan Vyapohati, Jvaram will go away, fever will go, I have to prove it. So Sahasranamam is a medical panacea. It's a panacea, it's an elixir. So it has been approved by all. So is it so good for health, sir? See, in Sri Mahabharatam there is one portion called Yaksha Prashna. 124 questions. One Yaksha asks Yudhishthira for him to drink water. I will rather die. Why will I answer 124 questions? Because I will surely not answer all of them correctly. I am completely confident of that. But Yudhishthira, an intellect par excellence, he said, I will answer. There is one question. Kim swit suttam na ninishati. What is that which doesn't close its eyes while sleeping? Kim swit swapnam na ninishati. That was Yaksha's question. Let us see what Yudhishthira says. Matsya. Fish, it never closes its eyes even while at sleep. What does that signify? Which means, when someone is sick, we need 24/7 attention. See, today we have the facility to arrange caretakers for our parents or grandparents. In those days, in joint families, as such there will be 20 members. Somebody will take care. Because in the middle of the night, they can't go to the washroom. They can't get up and drink water. So there will be somebody throughout. So night 10 to morning 5, somebody will take care. Morning 5 to afternoon 10, somebody will take care. So I went to one house because there was somebody very bedridden. I bought some musambi and went. They opened the door. They said, have you brought the musambi for the bedridden person? I said, no, for you. For the caretaker also I brought musambi. Because you need, caretakers also need energy. So, Matsyaha, fish, signifies incessant, perennial, perpetual care. That is why Meenakshi is called Meenakshi. She keeps protecting her people. Meenalochani Pashamochani Manini Kadambavanava Sini Meenakshi Matsyaha, it keeps protecting. That said, there is another place. When the Vedas were lost, in Bhagavatam we get this concept where Brahma, he yawned. See, when you listen to stories also, you can leave, don't feel threatened. But Shastram says there is one rule. While listening to Bhagavad Vishayam, if you yawn, whatever you have listened till then will dissipate, you will forget. See, generally people will come and say, found the rahasyam now? So Brahma yawned. He lost the Vedas. He went and complained to his father Narayana. Narayana wanted to find a solution. He kept looking at Mahalakshmi. He's inspired by Mahalakshmi every second, every minute. He keeps looking at her. She said, "ये क्यों मुझे ही देख रहे हैं आप, नारायण? क्यों इतना अच्छी लग रही हूँ क्या?" Then the Lord said, "No, I'm looking at your eyes. They just ooze mercy. And your eyes look like the fish. Be very careful. The connection I have to draw. Your eyes look like the fish. I'm inspired by your eyes." That is when Brahma came and complained, "I've lost the Vedas." The Lord said, "I need to incarnate." He too wanted an incarnation with fish-like eyes as Mahalakshmi. But he couldn't. So he became the fish. He wanted fish-like eyes. So he became the fish. And as Matsyam, he went searching for the lost Vedas. That is when Vedanta Deshika says, "Nirmagna Shruti Jala Margana Dasha Dattakshanai Vikshanai Antastanva Divara Vindagahanan Audanvati Namapan Nishpratyuha Taranga Ringanamita Pratyuda Padaschaka Dola Roha Sadohanam Bhagavato Matsyam Bapupadunaha." Wherever the fish like Lord looked, all those portions became lotuses, it seems. Vedaisat, Yaksha Prashnam, Yaksha asked, which doesn't close its eyes while at sleep? Matsyam. What does that signify? 24/7 care like a mother. Who does that? In our Siddhartha, for example, in Madurai we have Meenakshi. Now coming to the lost Vedas, looking at Mahalakshmi, the Lord took this form of a fish. As taking the form of a fish, he kept looking. Wherever he looked, it turned into lotuses. Correct? Now, there was a great saint poet in Melpattur, very close to Tirunavaya in Kerala. Bhukhande Keralakke Saritanihanla Uttare Naivanava Kshetraga Vyutimatne Punaruparinava Gramanamni Swadhamni Dharmishta Bhattatantra Dakhilamatapator Matradatta Dvijendra Jato Narayanakyo Niravahadatulam Devanarayanagyam, says this poet about himself and his tutelage in a work called Prakriya Sarvasvam. To the northern banks of the river called Bharadapuzhai, in a hamlet called Melpattur, was a great poet and a poet extraordinaire called Narayana Bhattatiri. He had a guru called Achyuta Pisharoti, and Achyuta Pisharoti had a vyadhi called Vatarogam, rheumatoid arthritis. Looking at his teacher suffer, he performed a yagam and took that rheumatoid arthritis on him. In those days there was a facility. You can shift that vyadhi. We will be searching for such persons. Sir, I'll give you $1,000, take my headache. You listen to Upanyasam. So, Narayana Bhattadri took Vatarogam on him. He went to Guru Vayur and he was clueless what to do. He was suffering, because when you suffer, you will not know. See, listening to an Upanyasam when you are hale and healthy is different. When you are suffering, you have to listen. That is great, right? He wanted to divert his attention caused by the intensity of the pain of rheumatoid arthritis. That is when a great poet called Tunjat Ramanuja Eluttachan had arrived in Guruvayur. Emda China? Pain anasari. That is when he said one line, Meena Tottu Kootuga. Meena Tottu Kootuga. Begin with the fish. Njan Bengali. Endana fish. What he said was, begin with the fish, which is Matsyavataram. So Matsyavataram is the solution for your ailment. So you have to connect everything. Yaksha Prashnam, Matsyavataram. Now, coming to the last part. How is this a solution? See, three things I said. Matsyavataram, lotus wherever he saw. Where does lotus grow? Ponds. What pond? Clean pond, swimming pool. Where? It grows in the marshes. That is why it is called Nalinam, Pankajam. Marshes. So from the dirty marshes comes a long stalk with a beautiful flower called lotus that blossoms upon receiving the rays of the rising sun. In Tamil Nadu, it is very tough to make this statement. So, the lotus opens. In the essence of Bhagavatam called Narayaniyam, there is an 8th chapter. When one devotee with cancer had approached Paramacharya, Paramacharya said, recite the 13th shloka of the 8th dashakam. Have you heard of this? Asmin paratman nanupadmakalpe tvam itham uthapita padmayonihi ananta bhuma mamarogarashim nirundhivatalaya Vishnu. So this is what Paramacharya said. Leaving other 1035 verses, he chose this one verse and said recite. Why? He didn't give a reason. And we know, we'll get that WhatsApp forward every now and then. One day I was wondering why Paramacharya could have said this. See, I'm sure there will be medical doctors here. Your knowledge and your experience is something that needs to be respected and commendable. With whatever little I have read and understood, we have got this cell division in us, mitosis, meiosis. And as they say, as you sit, as you stand, millions of cells die, millions of cells are born. Not every cell is a healthy cell. There will be cells, functional units, which will have a dosham in it. Like how when we buy Vairam, we say dosham. There will be some cells with a dosham. But Paramatma has blessed with little chaitanyam to that cell, where the cell will have that little jnana. If I am damaged, it will tell to itself, die. So damaged cells die. This is called a programmed cell death called apoptosis. In case it doesn't occur very well or it is dysfunctioning, such damaged cells together come together and form lumps called tumors. So there is a dosham. This is like a dosham in that person. In very rare cases, even if the person is diagnosed of cancer, even without treatment, at times it just goes away. There are very rare cases that happen. So there is a ray of hope in the dosham. Like in the marshy land, you get a lotus, which is a ray of hope. In the dosham-laden cells, there can be God's blessings, Paramatma's blessings, which can solve it. When Brahma emerged from the lotus, from Pralayam, it was akin to having hope in life. So Paramacharya must have told this shlokam. Which shlokam? Narayaniya shlokam. Connected to what? Lotus. From the pond. And where does lotus form? Acharya says wherever the fish sees. Who is the fish? Like a medical practitioner who takes complete care. So a medical practitioner, like the fish who gives complete care, wherever he turns into lotus, where the lotus is a ray of hope born in a marsh in dosham, is a physician. That is why the nama, which is Bhishak, is that nama. Have you heard of this word Bhishak in Sahasranamam? Bhishak means he is the physician. How is he the physician? This is the way he is the physician. Vaidyo Narayano Harihi. So, it has been accepted by various scholars in the past that Vishnu Sahasranamam should be recited for good health. In fact, the commentator gives 4 instances. I am not reading out all of them. For kidney related problems, for eye related problems, for respiratory. He mentions all this in the Sanskritam commentary and gives instances of 1st century and 2nd century when respiratory problems used to come. The doctor, the Ayurvedic doctor will give a concoction and in that prescription he will write, listen to Vishnu Sahasranamam. See, it is a combination of the two. Sanatana Dharma is never against science. It imbibes science and gels it with divine intervention. That is Sanatana Dharma. We never deny science, but we believe that it should be a judicious concoction of your medicine. It could be a glimepiride, a glycoside, a metformin, a pioglitazone, but it also needs the divine intervention. So this is the 5th top, Parigrahati 5th speciality. It is accepted by all acharyas that this is the Panacea. Vishnu Sahasranamam is the solution for everything. What does it say? Dharmarthi prapnuyat dharmam artharthi charthamapnuyat. Artham means wealth. If you want wealth, recite Vishnu Sahasranamam. Prajarthi chapnuyat prajam. You want good children. Desire good children. That good is very important. இவர் தான் உங்க குழந்தைய நல்லவரா அது கொஞ்சம் யோசிச்சு தான் சொல்லணும். That is why Dasharatha's son Rama, when he went with Vishwamitra did not say, "Wake up, oh you son of Kaushalya." He said, "Oh, wake up, you good son of Kaushalya." Kaushalya Supraja Rama. Supraja means good child. பாடா படுத்துறது இந்த குழந்தை யாரோடது? பக்கத்துலயே அம்மா அப்பா தெரியும். ஆறுது தேடி பார்க்கலாம். அவளான அம்மை. Good children. Prajarti chapnuyat prajam. Children you want, moksham you want, wealth you want, health benefits, everything. Vishnu Sahasranamam is the solution. Gita tyaikatha kaschana. Last speciality. Gita. Who is Gita? எங்காவது பக்கத்தில் ஒரு மாமி சார் ரொம்ப நல்லா வடாமணி கொடுத்தோம். கீதான்னு பேசணும். கீதுன்னு கூப்பிட்டோம். This is Gita. Gita in Sanskritam, Geetam means music. See, Krishna did not utter shlokas, he sang. We have a standard tune. Matta parataram nanyat kinchidasti dhananjaya mayi sarvamidam proktam sutre maniganariva. Iri Srimad Bhagavad Gita Su Upanishadsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Sankhya Yogo Nama Vidiyodhyayah. This is the tune. But Krishna did not say like this. Matta parataram nanyat kinchidasti dhananjaya mahi sarvamidam. In the middle of the battlefield. Middle of the battlefield, people are waiting to fight. Like Kedara Gowda, Ananda Bhairavi. All ragas he used. He was giving a private kacheri to Arjun. Arjun namla mai paatala romba theriyadu. Ye Bhairavi hai Arjun. Kaun hai wo Bhairavi? In most of these airports, these dogs will go. They'll keep spelling whether we have brought something or not. Rasa powder. ஒரு புறம் பார்த்தால் நிதிலையின் மைதிலி, மறுபுறம் பார்த்தால் காவிரி மாதவி, முகம் மட்டும் பார்த்தால் நிலவின் எதிரொலி. உங்க ஏர்போர்ட்ல அவள் ஒரு பைரவி, அவள் ஒரு பைரவி. So Krishna sang. In the middle of the battlefield, he sang Bhagavad Gita, song of the Lord. He sang. See, June 13th, 14th, 15th, I am back in Singapore. You Tribia. Here enough. June 13th, 14th, 15th, 3 days. Remember, Indaral, Ashok. Remember, June 13th, 14th, 15th, same PGP hall. Simmapuri, PGP hall, Madhye, Serangoon Road, Samipe, Pomada's Bhojanalaya, Samipe. प्रख्यात मुस्तफा नाम भागवतोत्तम प्रथमाचार्य वर्याणाम मध्ये. So Bhagavad Gita, the consortium of all the Bhagavad Gita associations, on behalf of them, I'm going to speak on the 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, all 3 days, 3, 13, 14, 15. Arga says, Appodai Sridhar. You have a photo, you will get the ticket in your house if you don't come. I'll send. Okay, now. So Bhagavad Gita, Krishna sang. In the middle of the battlefield, he sang. How is he as a person, Krishna? There is a nama, Avijnata. Vijnana means to know. Avijnana means doesn't know. What is that Sahasranama nama? 483rd nama, Avijnata. Avijnata means kuch pata nahi hai usko. That is sad. Where are you coming from, Bangalore or Chennai? You are abusing Gopal like this. You are telling he doesn't know anything. Avijnata. Avijnata means doesn't know. How do I interpret this nama? The Acharya says, the one who observes his children who are his devotees perform actions, Some of the actions performed by his devotees may not be adhering to Shastram. Despite knowing that his children are performing certain activities, his devotees are doing activities which are not adhering to Shastram, he acts as if he has not seen them. He doesn't know them. So he is called Avigyata. You are able to get the meaning. பார்க்கும் பார்க்காத மாதிரி இருக்கு. நீங்க அந்த கல்யாணத்தை நான் வந்தேடா நான் உங்களை பார்க்கவே இல்லையே. அவிஜ்ஞாதா சஹஸ்ராம் we are avijñatas. See, if you don't like to meet a person or talk to a person, அப்படி சொல்லுவோம் வந்தேடா எந்த பக்கம் வந்தேன், அந்த பக்கமா வந்தேன், நான் இந்த பக்கமா போயிட்ட பாருங்க. அவிஜ்ஞாதா சஹஸ்ராம். So the Lord is also Avignata. Who is he? Avignata is Ekaha. See, I have told this in elsewhere in some other lecture. I went to Bombay for a lecture series. At the end of it, one devotee said, please come to our house. I went. They introduced their grandchildren. The grandson, I asked him, what's your name? He said, Kim. Korea? Kim? I said, okay, fine. I came home, I had a slight, sarcastic, arrogant guffaw. What names these people give? To sound peculiar and unique, should you give this Kim? And that evening, when I headed back home, I had a lecture. I opened my Sahasranamam book. It exactly opened on the page where the Lord's Nama is Kim. Eko naika savaka. There is one Nama of the Lord called Kim. See, this is where, despite telling Upanyasam, certain things won't register in our brains. We think we are more intelligent. This is where we feel. There is one Nama, Ekaha, Anekaha, Saha, Ka, Kim. Ekaha. There is one Nama, if you want to call your grandson a simple name, just simple name, say Ekaha. You can never go wrong with this name. E-K-A, Eka. That's all. Application form, you don't need it all. Or if you keep Sarva Praharana Yudha. Imagine you want to name your grandson Sarva Praharana Yudha. Or Bhuta Bhavya Bhavat Prabhu. Prabhu means Kalyan Jewelers will agree. Bhuta Bhavya Bhavat Prabhu. One Nama. Sarva Praharana Yudha. Well, that Ekaha is easy. The Lord's name is Ekaha. Why? Because the sixth characteristic of Sahasranamam is Gita Keka Takaschanaha. The essence of Bhagavad Gita is Vishnu Sahasranama. What is the essence of Bhagavad Gita? 18th chapter, 66th verse. Sarvadharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam vraja. Surrender unto me alone. Me alone. Ekaha. That Ekaha Krishna is the Vishnu Sahasranamam 730th Nama. Ekaha. Ekaha means the one who doesn't have any peer or one above him. See, in English or even in our Bharatiya languages, one doesn't always mean one. You're talking about someone, you're giving rigmaroles or descriptions about the person, the other person is clueless whom we are talking about, and that person comes, hey, I told you right, he is the one. There, the one means unique one or special one, not the number one. See, we all do full body test. Keshadipadam, Agre, Pashyami, Dejo. We do a body test. They'll take that CBC. Then they'll check your erythrocytes, the thrombocytes, the leukocytes, and whatever, the lipid. Sugar, you're very sweet. So everything they'll check, and with that report we'll go to the visiting doctor, we'll go to that physician. Now that physician will look page after page. We will just keep scanning his eyes, because wherever his eyes become Vishalaksha, that means there's some problem. He will have one pen in his hand. Wherever he circles, sir, I've just looked at your reports. Seem fine, but there are a few indicators that say this is a very rare condition. In my experience, I have not come across such cases. 1 in 1,000. You are that 1 in 1,000. Nanayirathil oruvan. That unique one is called Uruttan Uruti Ekaha. Ekaha means the unique one, no parallel, unparalleled, nulli secondus is called Ekaha. So that Ekaha, Krishna says, Sarvadharman parityajya mam ekam. So Krishna is referred to as Ekam. Who is Krishna? The one who has delivered Bhagavad Gita. The one who has delivered Bhagavad Gita is Krishna. Krishna is called Ekaha. Ekaha comes as the 730th Nama in Vishnu Sahasranamam. So Vishnu Sahasranamam is the essence of Bhagavad Gita. Mahabharata Saratvat, Rishibhim Pariganataha, Vedacharya Samaharat, Bhishmot Krishna Matatpadaha, Parigrahati Gita Tekartha Kaschana. Every devata whom you respect will have Antaryami as Narayana. Rudraha, Rudro Bahushira, Babruhu, Rudraha. Mahadeva, Paramashiva is called Rudraha. Rudraha's Antaryami is Narayana. That is why the Nama comes in Vishnu Sahasranamam. Shivaha, Sthanuvu. There is a great initiative by Samuham towards Atirudram. They are doing a great Atirudram in Yajurvedam, Krishna Yajurvedam. You have 11 Anuvakams called Shatarudriyam or Shri Rudram. 11 Anuvakams, the essence of Vedam. Then you have followed by another portion called Chamakam. This has Namaha, this is Chamaha. So Namakam, Chamakam. 11 plus 4, 15 Anuvakams. They keep reciting in groups of 11 times. You get 11, 121, like that it will keep on going. It is called Atirudram. Now Atirudram is being celebrated. I heard that there are many patrons to that. Please contribute towards Atirudram. Learn Atirudram also. You should learn Rudram. Rudram is a great Panacea. There is great commentary by Bhattabhaskara, Sayana on Rudram. So there is one initiative. So there is one Nama, Skandadharaha, Skandadharaha, Guhaha. There is one name Guha in Vishnu Sahasranamam. So you got Kartikeya. Vishwakseno Janardanaha, you got Vishwaksena. You got Brahma, Prajapati Hiranyagarbhaha, Hiranyagarbho, Bhugarbho, you got Brahma. You got Shiva, you got Kartikeya. So Vishnu Sahasranamam becomes a compendium of all devatas whom we venerate because Narayana is seen as Antaryami there. So if you have not learned Sahasranamam, learn. If you are reciting Vishnu Sahasranamam, recite. It is the biggest panacea. You know, some people get vexed. No sir, for whatever we ask, you are telling Vishnu Sahasranamam. For respiratory system, you tell. Because now we are used to medical system that way. See, 50, 70 years back, there will be only one doctor for all ailments. Now we have specialized. We have got consulting physician. Then that person will deal with endocrinology. Then they will become super specialized. Going forward, right hand one doctor, left hand. Right hand our papa, left hand by left hand. Our Vama Bhagam, our Dakshina Bhagam. So we are now looking at Vishnu Sahasranamam from the modern perspective. Vishnu Sahasranamam is the solution for everything. It is the Wikipedia. Whatever you want, how to get moksha, Wikipedia will give that answer. So, Vishnu Sahasranamam is the panacea. It is the amritam for all solutions. And these are the 6 qualities. That said, I have spoken about my Bhagavad Gita lectures, Atirudram, and one more small announcement. Many of you have been writing to me. They asked me when I got inside the auditorium also, when is the next yatra? So I've been taking people on yatra, smaller batches for the last 10 years. Some of you here have travelled with us many times. November we are taking yatris to Navadvaraka Pushkar, that is full. December 1st to 6th we are taking yatris to Bhutan. December 20th to 25th to Cambodia batch 1. 24th to 29th Cambodia batch 2. Cambodia is easy for you because you can come, you are very close to Cambodia. And we take care of your stay, we take care of your food because we bring cook sattvic food from Bharata Desham. So your stay, your food, and you'll have 2 hours of my lecture on Paduka Sahasram every day. You have to live with it, sorry. So every day 2 hours, and then I will be explaining the architecture of the temple. Like say Angkor Wat, Bantai Samre, Bantai Spree, Priya Kho, Priya Kham, Prasad Kraven, Kabal Speen, and so on and so forth. Then January 20th to 25th, Odisha, Puri, Konark, all those kshetrams. And then February 1st to 7th to Sri Lanka, which will be a combination of places from Ramayana and Sri Lankan history of the 5th century onwards, the Kachapa dynasty and so on. So for that, what should we do? You should not ask me any question. I will give you an email ID. You can note it down. Send a mail stating that you are interested to receive the itinerary with day-wise program, cost structure, date of submission, method of booking. I will tell you the email ID thrice. Thrice. Court marriage. Okay, you have to note it down. If you pay attention, because after telling this, again they will come and ask me. That is the greatness of Vyasam Vasishtha Navtara. Now, first, Yatra by dsbb@gmail.com. I'll spell it out. Yatra, Y-A-T-R-A, Yatra, by, B-Y, by, D-S, Dushyanth Sridhar, D-S, B-B, B for boy, B for boy, at gmail.com. So Yatra, 5 letters, Om Itibhya Hare Tamaiti Paschat Narayanaye Ruparishtat Om Ityekaksharam Namaiti Dve Akshare Narayanaye Divanchaksharani. Similarly, Yatra Panchaksharani, Y-A-T-R-A, B-Y Dve Akshare, D-S Dve Akshare, B-B Dve Akshare, Yatra by D-S-B-B at gmail.com. Y-A-T-R-A-B-Y-D-S-B-B. You should have 6 plus 5, 11 letters at gmail.com. All small, no special characters. Write to this mail ID. Give them 48 hours. They will reply. 48 hours. We go by Indian Standard Time. So you will get all the details. Again, thank you so much to all of you across age groups, across different communities speaking different Bharatiya languages. I'm extremely delighted to have come this far east in this beautiful Rajdhani of Simhapuri to speak on such a solemn occasion on Sri Vishnu Sahasranamam as spoken at the commencement. Thank you to the organizers, the members of the Brahmana Samuham for having invited me over for this lecture. And I carry immense memories to haunt you back on the 13th of June for Bhagavad Gita lectures. The moment it is Bhagavad Gita, don't think it will be tough. Bhagavad Gita is very easy. We have spoken about Vishnu Sahasranam that was spoken in the presence of Krishna by a devotee. Bhagavad Gita was spoken by Krishna himself to a devotee. Spoken by Krishna to a devotee is Bhagavad Gita. Spoken about Krishna in the presence of Krishna is Vishnu Sahasranamam. So we have spoken Vishnu Sahasranamam now, Bhagavad Gita later. June 13th, 14th, 15th evening, you will come. Surely you will understand Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is not complicated. Some of them have made it complicated. See, when I gave one lecture in Mumbai, at the end of it, a few people had come, they were with dejected faces. I asked why did I speak well. They said, sir, we understood Bhagavad Gita completely today. Then why are you sad? No, sir. Generally they say, only if you speak slightly OHT, overhead transmission, then only you are a Vidwan. The transcendental state of the sentient matter, the Jivatma tries and sustains. If you tell all these things, with a baritone, immediately you get a Vidwan. If we make things understandable and relatable, so we have gone to that state where Bhagavad Gita means it should be very tough. No, it is very simple. Krishna's Parama Karunika. He has made it so, like chakka variety. You know chakka? A jackfruit halwa. Now I spoke about Putarekulu, now I have to go to the other state. Jackfruit halwa chakka variety. It is so tasty. Please come and relish Krishna's elixir for us. Gita Amritam. When we say Shri Bhagavan Uvacha, I get goosebumps because it is Sakshat Bhagavan who is speaking those words. Bhagavad Gita is no less than a gem for Bharata Desham. That is our national treasure. Rafale flight there, okay. Biggest treasure of Bharata Desham is Gita. What philosophy Krishna has given. That should be tasted. So please come on June 13, 14, 15. Participate in Atirudram. And now I think we will have Vedam Vallaragade Kundu Vinod Perumal. They will be reciting a small Ganam. And then we will be Kavitarkika Simhaya Kalyana Gunashaline Srimate Venkateshaya Vedanta Gurave Namaha Swasti Prajabhya Paripalayantam Nyayena Margena Mahim Mahisha O Brahmanebhya Shubhamastu Nityam Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Kayena Vacha बुद्ध्यात्मना वा तदेव स्वभावात् करोमि यद्यत् सकलं परस्मै श्रीमन्नारायणाय समर्पयामि। जानकीकान्तस्मरणं ऊണ് കഴിച്ചു जोश जानकीकान्तस्मरणं गोपिका जीवनस्मरणं। नमस्कारं, थैंक यू।
Now I welcome on stage our Sabha Purohits, Shri Vijay Kumar Shastrigal, Shri Vyas Shastrigal and Shri Kannan Shastrigal to offer Vedokta Ashirvadams to Shri Dushyanth Sridhar.
तनुवस्तनुवस्त्वं घृतेन घृतेन त्वं तनुवः त्वं तनुवस्तनुवस्त्वं त्वं तनुवो वर्धयस्व वर्धयस्व तनुवस्त्वं तनुवो वर्धयस्व तनुवो वर्धयस्व वर्धयस्व तनुवस्तनुवो वर्धयस्व सत्याः सत्याः यस्व तनुवस्तनुवो वर्धयस्व सत्याः वर्धयस्व सत्याः सत्या वर्धयस्व वर्धयस्व सत्याः सन्तु सन्तु वर्धयस्व वर्धयस्व सत्याः सन्तु सत्याः सन्तु सन्तु सत्याः सत्याः सन्तु यजमानस्य यजमानस्य सन्तु सत्या सत्याः सन्तु यजमानस्य यजमानस्य सन्तु सन्तु यजमानस्य कामाः कामा यजमानस्य सन्तु यजमानस्य कामाः यजमानस्य कामाः कामा यजमानस्य कामाः कामायिति कामाः तेजस्वी यशस्वी ब्रह्मवर्तसे स्यामिते प्राणाहो दर्धज्ञाधुत्सप्येत् तेजं प्रागाद्यशस्वती सा मा प्रोर्णोतु तेजसा यशसा ब्रह्मवर्तसे नेति तेजस्वेव यशस्वी ब्रह्मवर्तसी भवति श्रीर्वर्चस्वमायुष्यमारोग्यमाविधात् शोभनं महीयते धान्यं धनं पशुं बहुपुत्रलाभं शतसंवत्सरं दीर्घमायुः।
Thank you all for attending today's talk in large numbers. As a reminder, we have the Ekadina Koti Nama Parayanam at 6 a.m. tomorrow. Drawing inspiration from today, please join us in even more numbers tomorrow to chant the glories of Lord. Kindly note that today's dinner prasadam is served at level 1. We are also going to have a meet and greet session where Shri Dushyanth will meet on the stage. First, the reserved rows will come over and 15 minutes later, the rest can follow for a maximum of 30 minutes. Namaskaram and Shivaratri.
Om Namo Narayana. So as she said, we'll first have the first 5 to 10 minutes, I would say, of the people in the front rows. They can come up if you want to take your selfies, VFs with Dushyanth. You can come up. After the first round, we'll also have the people in the back rows. I would request them to stand on the queues on both sides of the hall. And once the initial rows go back, then we can have the others come by. So if you want, you can come here. You can in the back on the or side level. It may be better, and there are so many people. So